A book for real men. Let's get things straight. I don't run a charity business, and I'm also not looking to make new friends. That being said, I am sorry if you will feel a bit insulted or very uncomfortable reading this book. This might actually be the best investment you ever did. You've chosen to invest in you, so my duty right now is to make sure you become a much better version of yourself. And guess what? I will give you my full honesty. And the honest truth hurts like hell every single time. What do I expect from you? Hate me if you want, I don't give a shit. But take what you have learned in this book, acknowledge it, and most important, apply it in your daily life. Start experimenting and you will definitely see great improvements with your love life and your lifestyle as well. Now that I got your attention, let me just tell you a bit about me. So my parents broke up when I was about 13 years old, had to live with my grandmother until 15 when she passed away. Loved her very much, and at this young age I understood that time is important and that you can never love enough. So my first lesson: start appreciating time, and if you do choose to love, love like there's no tomorrow. My mother somehow managed to help me with a very small amount of money, so small that I had to start working as a part-time and go to school as well. At the age of 16, I have already read about 10 to 15 books about businesses, and I started to understand a bit how the world works. My friends were going out to have a coffee or a soda, meanwhile I was staying at home thinking about investing my money in something that could produce me more money. At the age of 17, I was the #1 guy you were looking for in town if you wanted a great mobile phone. I was selling like 7 to 12 a day, flipping them with no problem. Meanwhile other kids were going out with their parents' money, I was spending my own, so that right there was a great achievement for me. If you take a girl out, take her with your own money. Otherwise, if you take her out with your dad's money, he should be the one getting the love later, not you. Because I was very mature on a fragile age, owned an apartment all by myself, and money weren't a problem, the girls were coming at my place like they were going to the bar to grab a coffee. Instead they were grabbing a condom and leaving with their hair all messed up. I knew I loved to have sex, and I knew I wanted to experiment as much as possible. So guess what job I've chosen? Exactly, bartending. I was a bartender, one that goes to the gym, drinks enough to have fun, and it's full of charisma. The formula was working great for me. 19 years old, had my first MILF. The lady was 38 years old, had a son, and she was also very rich, driving a Porsche Carrera the whole day. But at night, when the lights went off around 2 a.m. at Loren's residence, Tatiana would enter the show, and man, she knew how to show off. Sexy costumes, sexy smile, sexy moans. I literally miss those times. So probably I will call her soon enough to book an appointment in the dark room. During my spare time I've noticed something. I really enjoy reading blogs. I really enjoy finding more about women's mentality. Why they behave the way they do, why they think the way they do. I started analyzing them, every single move they would make. I became obsessed with the idea that I can be the best man they would ever date. So I started looking around. I wanted to check my competition, and guess what? 0 competitors. To me, everyone was lame. Everyone had some small defects, not personality defects, but the errors that a man should never do. Otherwise, they would end up looking like women. So that's why I've decided to release this book for you, because I want you to be a real man. I want you to impress her with every single move you make. I want her to be wet just because you are talking to her. I want her to want you and you to not want her. Take a look at the generation we live in. If you ask me, it's the most fucked up generation ever. If you don't believe me, take a closer look. It's full of gay people. I don't have a problem with gay people, but I do have a problem with 85% of the men turning gay nowadays, and you know why this is happening? Because they are not successful with women anymore. They get rejected often. They don't have proper education in escalating with a woman from a sexual point of view or at least conversational point of view, so they end up appreciating themselves. They find comfort in other men. The school should be the first to blame. The system, in other words. Educating a dynasty of robots, and the main conclusion is that you have to obey. This is what you learn in school. Go and spend 8 hours a day, like every other job. Go and obey the teachers, do as they want. Like every boss in every shithole you've probably been working, learn the lessons, learn them exactly as they say, because however 80% of the things you learn are useless, but you need to understand how a robot works. This way you can adapt to the mechanical features you will develop in the future. Does school talk about financial freedom? About picking up girls? Body language? Seduction? Business? No. That might prove to be very useful, and you don't need that. Society needs some sheeps, otherwise who would follow? But enough of those sad little facts. Let's get things started, and my best pick of the chapters one have in my head right now would be this one. Let's understand rejections. 1. Let's understand rejections. Why have I chosen this to be the first chapter of your journey? Because your journey doesn't start at all because you suffer from the fear of rejection. How do I know that? I don't even know you, so how can I know such a deep detail about you? I know it because 95% of men suffer from fear of rejection, and that is the main reason they don't even try. Maybe someday she will come to me if I dress well. If I look like a gentleman. If I hold some cash in my hands. That's a lot of ifs, and believe me, the things you see in the movies will just stick to the movies. It will never happen in real life. But how? In the movie he finally told her how he felt about her, and she was very impressed when she found out. In the movie. Not in real life. Gotta love those movies. You know what's even funnier? I always used to think that romance movies are the science fiction genre. And the science fiction is the most realistic genre. What you see in a science fiction movie based on the system and government plans you will basically see in the closest future, but what you see in the romance genre sticks only to the romance genre. In other words, that shit will never happen in real life. Ahaha. Okay, I will stop laughing. Before even thinking about rejections and why girls do reject you, let me make sure you understand the power you have, but you don't realize yet. You have 2 arms, 2 legs, you are healthy, hopefully. Do you know how much that means? I mean it. Stop for a second and think about it. Let me ask you again. Do you know how much that means? There are people in wheelchairs that can never walk again on their own feet. There are people that lost their arms and they could never touch again, they could never hug again. There are people that unfortunately got blind because of an incident, or even worse, maybe they were born like this. Imagine this for a second, to never know how you really look like. To never understand how a woman looks, to just try visualizing her in your mind based on what exactly? Imagination? Paralyzed people who never had sex or that cannot experiment that anymore. People in the chair that would run up and talk to the girl straight away but they can't. They can't. So now I am asking you, what is really stopping you from stopping her on the street and having a word with her? A woman rejects you for a lot of reasons. The main biggest reason is that she is having a bad day and you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Another reason, although you may not believe it, might be that she gets very shy and basically feels like you are too good for her. A lot of girls feel that way. It just happens for you to approach her today when she didn't put any makeup on, any elegant clothes, so she feels embarrassed, and for a second she just feels like you are too good, Mr. Perfect in other words. She might feel scared, and that, my friend, could be a no-no for you. And again, is this your fault in any way? You are way too hot, man. It happens. That's why you need a real woman. That's why a real woman is waiting for a real man, not just some average kid. She might reject you because you are simply not her type. Once again, not your fault. Thank her for the time and move on to the next target. And of course, she might reject you because you don't know how to approach girls in the first place, so that means you just need to get some training and that's it. You can hire a life coach, dating coach expert to do that for you, or you could do as I did. I approached many girls till I started to understand the pattern, and I got very good at it. Understand what they like, what they want, and after that learn how to offer. And of course, if she deserves it in the first place. Your time, obviously. Forgot our lesson? Time is important. I'm not just gonna spend it on any girl. It's time to give you my best experiment, and I promise you it's gonna be worth your time, and you will also be amazed by the results you will see. So one day I basically admitted to myself I have a fear of rejection. I am afraid to be rejected, that's what I kept saying to myself, and then it clicked. I should share this feeling. In order to find a solution, you must first write down the problem. So after 2 shots of tequila, I went to all the girls in the bar, took them one by one, and I was telling them the exact storyline. Hi there, my name is Andrew and I was wondering if you have a minute? Yes? Well, I have a small problem and I was hoping you can help me. Believe me or not, I have a fear of rejection. I want to approach girls, I wanted to approach you as well, but I somehow can't properly do it because I'm always thinking to myself, what will she say to me, what she will do, what she will think of me? With that in mind, in this next minute I am going to try and pick you up, and I need you to reject me as brutally as possible. 95% of the girls laughed so hard, but they appreciated my initiative. I was a confused guy, exactly like the others in the club. The only difference is that I was looking for a solution. I wanted to solve my problem. Meanwhile, the others dined. I've stepped up, I have taken attitude. That's what made me a bit more of a real man that night. Now, what I did is pretty much common sense. In order to overcome a fear, you have to look her in the eyes and confront it. That's what I did. I knew that by approaching 100-200 girls, and if I get brutally rejected from them, would not fear anymore the next day, I somehow knew that I will feel more confident. So guess what happens? When I finished experimenting this idea, I am leaving the club. A girl comes after me accusing me of forgetting her. The girl was asking me why she was the only one left behind without being questioned about the rejecting problem. Can you believe that? She was feeling neglected. So that was a good night. I did my experiment and got laid with the most important girl, the one that didn't got the question. Next day, obviously a huge boost of confidence. I was approaching every single girl, often complimenting them without any further intentions, and man, let me tell you, I started seeing the world with different eyes. I was feeling invincible. But there's always a famous but. The fear of rejection can be confronted and conquered, but after a while, depending on what your actions are, that fear might reappear. The fear of rejection builds itself every single day when you are not socializing with the others, I mean, in general, not through a computer screen on social media. In real life, everywhere, in every single situation. Do you know who suffers most from fear of rejection? Video gamers. Why? Most of their time they are caught up between four walls, focusing on one screen. So it's actually quite difficult to approach a girl when everything you do in general is non-social related. Isolated. With a controller in your hands. Also, if you don't approach girls in general, it is very normal to feel scared about it. You feel scared in general of new things, of things you don't normally do or practice. This is why you always hear things like, step out of the comfort zone. Your comfort zone is what you do every day. Your comfort zone is when you choose the easier option. Real men, by the way, do things their own way. But they definitely aren't choosing the easier options. So what's left to say? Oh right. Leave the book right now and start experimenting. Try my idea or try yours if you have one. Bring your new version into the second chapter of the book and be ready to finally understand what you have to talk to a girl when you do stop her. 2. What do I say to her? I've never really understood why men ask weird questions when they stop a woman. Never understood why they complicate things so much with different forms of asking a simple thing in different variations of words to try and impress them with their expanded vocabulary. Guys, keep it simple. Keep in mind the reason why you stopped her in the first place. But you see, this is the main problem. How can you be honest about what you feel when society shows you the opposite? Society tells you to never be honest, otherwise you might pay. Real men take their chances. That being said, it's impossible for you to not like something about her when you first see her. And that will most probably be either the way she looks, her body, her ass, or maybe her clothing style. She's fashion as F+++ Fahidi. Women feel amazed by straightforward guys. Guys with balls especially. Guys that have the guts to take a chance and risk. Guys that say exactly what they think. Listen girl, with all due respect, you have the hottest ass in town. For real, I couldn't took my eyes above it for a while. Don't wanna sound like a creep, but it's the honest truth. Intelligent women will crack a laugh. Intelligent women already know what their pros and cons are. You appreciating her ass might not be the only one. But complimenting her on that in a very straightforward way and taking a chance might be interesting to her. It's common sense, man. Nobody falls in love with a soul from the first sight. It's not like you could have seen her personality just by walking to her. That comes with time and knowing things about each other. Seeing the good things and the bad ones about each other. It's not just a snap of fingers and boom, we are two pigeons on an old tree singing hallelujah. Look at the virgin girls, if you can still find some. What is their logic? I'm not gonna share my cake until I get married. No shit, baby doll. It's not like you're gonna marry the first guy you see. And second, it's not like you're gonna like the first cock you get. Sometimes, compatibility is very hard to find. I've slept with over 80 women to really understand that only with one I was feeling like really great in bed, like outstanding sex, and after 300 women I was still thinking about her. By the way, a total stranger, we didn't had a relationship, we just fucked one evening. But it was a hot compatibility. Something unique. Why would you marry anyone? Because having sex with just one person is so right. It is indeed with the right one though. When I stop a girl on the street or on the bus, in the library or whatever the place might be, I don't plan things. I don't think about what should I say, I rather try to understand what makes me want to stop her. What triggers me? One for instance had a long curly hair which was very hot for me, so that's what I told her. Another was looking up all the time, so I understood straight away she was a tourist, so I had a good opener about GPS and everything. We hooked up, had sex, and then had sex 5 or 6 times more every single year she was visiting my country. 'Cause why not? Why do I want you to approach as much as possible? The thing is, I know the potential things you could do. The life you could have. Not many guys know the real truth about this. The behind the scenes, let's just say. It's not just about sex, man. Every single girl has a background, has a story, and she's working towards something. You could easily have a much more interesting life by ending at her place, ending at her restaurant, ending at her best friend's house, having a small threesome, 'cause once again, why not? There is a lot you could do, instead of leaving the girl to pass by and go home to your boring or at least monotone life. Every single day you could do something new, and the best part is that a year has 365 days. That means 365 possibilities. And that's only if you approach one girl every day. What happens if you approach 10 every day? And that's why you gotta love math sometimes. So now that you understood what you have to say to her, you still encounter one small problem, I am sure of it. How do I open? You need an opener. Everybody needs an opener. And of course I have one for you, sounds like this. Hi there, what's your name? Think about it. The only thing you could literally ask for the first time you talk to her. That's if you want to do a basic approach. And you do want to do a basic approach. Remember what we've talked earlier on? Keep it simple. Gain experience. Practice. Get better. Have fun, and of course take it to the next step. And the next step is approaching girls in a creative way. So now that you know how to approach them in a basic way, change some words, some mind thoughts, now that you took some home, had fun, it's time to make things more interesting. Getting creative, it's all about paying attention to the smallest details possible. Remember me approaching the tourist girl? Understanding that she was a tourist led to a creative approach. I was approaching her in a different, interesting way. Not in a basic way like I would normally do. One girl, for instance, had a nice, elegant and sophisticated combination of colors on her. Brown with black, some white and some red as well. Somehow, the way she combined those clothes and accessories got my attention. So that led to a creative approach where I was so amazed by the way she dressed. To me, she was a woman with great taste and a great eye from perspective points of view. Of course, she had two eyes, not just one. Sitting at the bar one evening, grabbing a drink, I was having a look at the surroundings. Saw a hot girl on one table. Of course, I only had the basic opener in mind, "Hey, what's your name?" But somehow I wanted to do something creative. Didn't want to be simple, so I paid attention to the details. The detail was that she was on a hunt. Breasts forward, smoking cigarette in a seductive way, not just any way, sending eye signals to lots of men that apparently weren't understanding the most common things, so that was all I needed. Because she was clearly an alpha girl, my opener had to be somehow brutal, so it sounded like this: "I can see you're kinda struggling. Quality men is hard to find. You can signal how many you want, the problem is they're not gonna come." That's how she understood she had a great opportunity now. Not just any guy came at her table, but a clever one that understood signals and what she was doing, or at least trying to do. Of course she laughed, pretending I don't know what I am talking about. According to her, I've got the wrong idea. An idea after another led to other wrong things. I've just told you about 3 random events, 3 different girls, and if I am sure you can understand how much of an adventure this is. You can easily understand that by approaching as many girls as possible could be lots of fun. Once again, it's not like you are approaching girls because you have nothing to do with your life. You are approaching them because you want to master this part of you, you want to know your way with a woman, and you want to become the best version you could possibly be. So that when the perfect girl for you shows up, you will definitely treat her like a queen. Because you know she deserves it. Because you know you deserve it. Because it's worth it, and if you hadn't experienced things during your life, you wouldn't really know how to give her the quality time she is looking for. 3. Do looks matter? Yes and no. Let's dive in right away. The way you look in general, thanks to Mother Nature, your natural form without outside improvements like going to the gym, getting your hair done, applying some perfume once in a while, the way you look in general doesn't matter that much. I can show you many unattractive guys with hot bombshells, and it's not because of the looks, nor the money how some may believe. You can't do anything about height. You can do something about your weight. You can't do anything about your dick size. You can do something about your vocabulary. The things you can't control don't matter at all. Height matters if you want to be a professional basketball player. Dick size matters if you want to be a porn star, like actually doing porn movies. Problem is, most men don't give a damn about anything. The things they can control as well. Like weight, for instance. Why should they go to gym? It makes no sense. Why should I put a perfume on? My natural smell is okay. Why should I do my hair when I can just put a hat on? Why should I do it anyways? The wind outside, it's gonna mess it up. Man, we do know how to find excuses for pretty much anything. It definitely matters if you have hot a body. If you go to gym and train, if you are rock solid, it definitely is a turn on for girls, a sexual stimulant and a big boost for your personal confidence. As you know very well, 95% men would prefer to sit on the couch after an exhausting day at work, but you still do that effort, you still put that 20% above and go to the gym. That, my friend, makes you more than just a man. That is a point for you in gaining the real man title. Be realistic. You want a girl with nice big boobs, nice round ass. Well, maybe she wants you as well, with some nice abs, some nice healthy lifestyle on you, not just beers and peanuts in front of the TV the whole evening. Just common sense once again. It definitely matters if you take care of your hair, shows that you like to take care of details, and you already know that hairstyle is very important. You can try a different one and literally see how it changes your aspect entirely. It definitely matters if you shave and keep fresh all the time. Once again, you're a man that appreciates his image, you are clean and you pay attention to details. Looks don't matter that much, but what does matter is your perspective on different things regarding your looks. Be clean, be positive, always try to improve, get a one-day break when it all becomes way too exhausting, 'cause believe me, you will feel tired. Rest and recover, always stick on your plans. If looks would matter, you wouldn't see unattractive guys with hot women. It's not about the money either. It's all about their confidence. Maybe some of them are very intelligent, very mature, they see things with different eyes, and that makes them very attractive to women. They also probably approach girls, or let's just say they were lucky, they hooked up at work, which is kinda easy to do. Still, for a woman to stay in a relationship, it's kinda hard. It really means the guy is indeed interesting in some way and keeps her on track every single day. It is exactly like in businesses, stand out of the crowds, come with something interesting, something new, otherwise the market will eat you before you even start. 4. Small city. Where to approach? A common issue guys encounter very often is that they live in a small city, and that makes approaching a bit more harder. First of all, if you live in a really small city with a fixed number of girls, then my best advice would be for you to consider how serious you really are with approaching and getting better in seduction. If you realize you do want to get a lot more better, then you should start considering moving out to a bigger town. You should see this as a great opportunity, by the way, not a scaring experience. Once again, it's called stepping out of the comfort zone. Maybe this is the time for you. If the city in which you live in it's kinda small, but you do regularly see some new persons every day, that means you do have some possibilities. Smaller maybe, not as often as you would have in a bigger city, but still, chances are you might encounter someone interesting. Let's sort out the real problem and cut to the chase. Most guys find an excuse for not approaching in their small cities because everyone seems to have a specific mentality and everyone knows everybody. My city, for instance, it's full of tourists every day. Problem is, they come and go, most of them stay in for the day and leave during the night. Now, the residents in this town, they kinda know each other, and the other problem is most of them are looking for fun and drugs. My city is based on fun, sex, and drugs. Sounds good, huh? Well, no, it isn't. Most of it because women here are used to the idea that a man would pay for everything. And they are right. A lot of stupid guys in this city pay for everything. So the moment you walk up to her, she's expecting that. And real men don't pay for services. Real men actually don't even lift a finger for women in general. Another city I lived in back in the days was as well small, with a very closed mentality. Interesting thing was, everyone over there wanted to have their reputation clean, especially girls. They acted like virgins during the day, and in the evenings if you were lucky to catch them in a club outside of that city, man, they were becoming the hottest easy girls you could ever find. Let's call them easy girls. Other terms might seem offensive, although the truth lies in between those lines. The city is full of students though, and your best chance in cities like mine would be to meet up with other girls from other countries. So I live in the UK. I wouldn't date an English girl because the city is small and she expects me to pay for things, as most English girls do over here. I would go out with a girl from a different nationality, and I would also pay attention that this girl I've decided to date didn't catch the British vibes. So by dating a different mentality, my chances are a lot bigger, because she doesn't know what's the trend in the city. Or she might be entirely different from the others. She might not be interested at all in what men can offer financially. During the day I would also approach every girl that stands out. It's easy for me to understand a woman just by looking at her. I can see if she's an opportunist, if she is arrogant, if she has a fuck off vibe, and I am definitely not interested in that. So I would probably approach the girls that seem more like fun, the simple girls as well, tourists, girls having coffee and really enjoying themselves. By the way, I love approaching girls on the terrace. It's literally stepping out with your game. Coming from the street directly on their table, having a seat and grabbing a coffee, although I am uninvited. That means my game is so good that I can just sit with anyone and make them feel good. I can offer them good quality time. So you should as well try this sometime. Fail again. And guess what? Try again till you succeed. 5. Who pays the bill? I said earlier that real men don't pay for services. Think about it for a second. You can spend £50 and have sex with an escort, a hot one as well. Or you could go to the club, spend £150 to have a slight chance with some girl. Or you could take a girl to dinner, pay for the bill, and hope once again you have sex. And let's just say you do have sex, you paying the bill makes you what then? A man paying for services. And what does that make her in the end? A slut. She expected you to pay. First option is more cheaper, by the way, sex guaranteed. By paying the bills you don't do other than insulting women. That being said, everyone should pay his share. You shouldn't pay the bill, she shouldn't. It was a beautiful experience for both of you, with a slight chance of spending great quality time together. Nobody is doing anybody a favor by going out. The problem is most men offer to pay in a way of impressing girls. That's what they think. If I pay, I might impress her. Wrong. And the saddest part is that us, real men, suffer from it. What an idiot is doing affects the entire world. So if girls expect you to pay, it is not because of you, it's because of others. A lot of men don't really have something to impress girls with. By the way, girls are not impressed by men that are paying for the bill. They just need idiot ones to hold them in comfort at the end of the night. When she's regrouping with her friends, they will definitely have a laugh about the idiot that paid for everything to eventually get laid. And even if you did, she will still laugh. Getting laid isn't that much of a big deal, it's just plugging for some seconds and that's it. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. Another thing you need to keep in mind is that is enough to pay for one bill, and from that moment on she will expect you to do that every single time. Imagine having a relationship with a girl, paying for the dinner, paying for the holiday, paying for a trip to Tenerife. What are you, man, a bank? I can't remember my last vacation and I couldn't go somewhere by myself. Imagine paying for someone else as well. Six. Where should we go? So we understood we don't have to pay for a woman's time. Now that we know that, where should we take her? Sometimes, there's not much of an option. Think of it like this: first impressions matter. They definitely do. So your best choice would be to do something nice, special, but not exaggerated. You don't know her yet, so things like romantic dinners or romantic movies could be boring for the reason that other guys definitely did that with them, and could be exaggerated because you don't even know each other well, so you will come as being a naive little guy that already thinks about love and relationships. Your best option would be to understand a bit her background. Everybody has Facebook nowadays. Have a look at her crowd. How many men bark at her door in every single photo? Based on those men and her daily photos, what do you reckon she's doing during her spare time? Most men invite girls to grab a coffee. That's the most basic invitation. She is sick of it. I can guarantee you that. Others might try with a movie or a dinner. Once again, boring. It's boring if she did that already 3 times this week with 3 other dudes. You would be amazed to find out very few invite a girl to have a simple walk these days. A simple walk in a park or some garden could actually be nice to her, and something she didn't do that week. A picnic would sound nice again. Maybe a fun experience if you live in a bigger city, like a rope jump, surfing on the waves. Maybe challenge her. Women love challenges and they fall in love with new experiences. If you have an opera in your town, that might be an interesting experience. If you are dating a 35-year-old woman, let's just say, she might appreciate a movie. But she might fall in love with a theater play, as movies tend to go popular for younger people. Same with the clubs. She is 40 years old, take her out and dance on hip-hop. Makes no sense. Instead, take her to a jazz pub or have a dance with her on Michael Bublé songs, and there, my friend, it makes more sense. Being a real man once again means paying attention to the smallest details. Be organized and care about your experience and the time you are offering. Also pay attention on what you're receiving. You are not happy, move on. My best experience was with Nadia, a girl I met on Facebook. She was very bored with the majority of guys taking her to the pubs, to picnics, movies and everything. So basically she cancelled all my possible invitations. And then it clicked for me, I'm gonna have a laugh with this chick. So I invited her on a bus trip from town A to town B. At first, she was skeptical and also regretting the initiative, but me not really giving a shit of her mood and still looking for the best part in our experience, I started to have a closer look at our surroundings. I started making commentaries about the bus condition, the people outside, one thing to another, that led to a very fun experience, and she definitely still cracks a laugh once in a while when we chat and remember that day. Her exact words, and I quote, "Can't believe you invited me on a bus ride. Even more, can't believe I showed up." If you build up value, she will come. You could invite her to the toilet, she will follow. Build value. Build interest. Building value means respecting yourself as a person. Having huge self-esteem, having confidence, being on point with your plans and decisions, being organized, respecting her as a woman and not really giving a dime on external dramas. So that being said, let's move to our next lesson. 7. Mentality differences. Men don't think the same way women do. Sometimes it's actually good this way, 'cause if we would function the same, maybe we could get along very well. My hardest relationships were the ones where Eva started to play Adam, so I felt I was useless, like what's my contribution? If you figured out everything so well, what's my purpose in here? You are good on your own, that means you don't need a man in your life. And as religion explains, we can't function without the other. That's why every man has a woman part inside him. And vice versa. So when you hear shit like, I'm an independent woman, I don't need a man in my life, you should be straight away, cheers love, see ya in the afterlife. Don't waste a second more, 'cause that woman thinks she is intelligent by saying that, but it's nothing other than being way too proud, and you are just wasting important time. Time you could spend on building something with an actual smart woman. Life in general is all about building together. I could try and build a house by myself. It's gonna be very time consuming. What happens if I call some friends? I will definitely finish it way more faster, and I will also save huge amounts of energy and maybe money as well, as they will come with different creative ideas. Let's cut to the chase, as I know you really want me to. Men think and take actions based on logical events and strategies. Meanwhile, women take actions and think based on emotions and feelings. In other words, if she is having a crappy day, chances are you will fight or she will do something irrational. You, on the other hand, will probably have a jack and sit in a corner, drink your sorrow and recover without fighting or anything. If you wanna invest money in something, you calculate everything and stay on track for like a month with the idea. If a woman, let's just say, gets very enthusiastic about something, she doesn't necessarily take in consideration other factors, she just wants to jump in because the idea at the moment seems great, seems like a nice opportunity. This is why you often hear men bitching about not understanding women. They expect them to act in a certain way at a certain time, but they forget the differences. Women don't think like men do. So obviously your rational answer in your head might differ a lot from the answer you are getting from her. Let me give you an example. So I was in this serious relationship with a girl. She was out all night, time was already like 1 a.m. in the morning, didn't knew anything about her. So what did I do? Shut down my phone, went to sleep. Next day, I left it off until 14:00 p.m. when she was calling me like crazy. I answer and obviously she's boiling in her juice, thinking that I went dancing or somewhere without her. And guess what my answer was? Yes, I did. Told her I got bored at around 20:00 p.m. so I went out. My rational thinking sounded like this: I don't give a dime on what you did last night. The fact that you didn't at least send a message to let me know a car in fact did not hit you and you are okay, you now deserve some punishment as what you have did to me, it is a form of disrespect. I obviously told her that. She would find excuses, she would tell me I am way too jealous and all other useless commentaries. Instead, would pay her with the exact same coin. After that, things changed in a very, very nice way. So what did I do? I took her out of her stupid mentality and introduced her to a more logical one. Girls nowadays obviously have friends. A lot of their friends are most probably either a bit stupid, either kinda slutty. That's the generation we live in. So if you want her to be serious, to be more like you just have to play your cards the right way. Let me tell you something else you didn't know probably, there's no creature on this planet more selfish than women. From my own experiences, I've noticed girls literally abandoning parents, boyfriends, friends for different reasons. The basic idea was for them to feel good at all costs, at all time. In other words, she won't give a dime on the fact you have a child with her, you love her, you want her. If she somewhere along the lines of her life decides it's time to do something else, she will definitely stand up and leave. Either because of parents, college, friends, yada yada. So my best conclusion for this chapter is to always stay focused and always keep in mind that they act based on feelings. If she feels good, you have a healthy relationship. If she feels bad, expect her to go crazy and scream, shout, and again, dramas. The best way to calm her down, by the way, is by showing her how uninteresting she is becoming. You can show her that by dating other women, by leaving the house and taking some photos with other girls, making her jealous, making her feel she's losing you. Making her feel the challenge once again. This book is all about a real men's mentality, so let's understand how should we behave in a pub or bar, cause most probably this will be your everyday field, or at least in the weekends you will go to the clubs and you will want to have amazing quality time. 8. Behavior in bars/clubs. Time to blow your mind regarding bar approaches at any hour and in any situation. Let's start with the basic one. You go to the club by yourself, you don't have many friends, but you do want to have fun, meet a girl, have sex, end the night in the most perfect way if possible. Easier said than done, but still. There is a method. And you are extremely lucky, because in this book you get the best technique ever. First of all, if you go with friends, separate yourself from them. For this method to work, you have to be alone. By the way, doing things on your own without any help in general, makes you more of a real man. So another point for you. Sweet God, you are making progress, and I'm very happy to be honest. So you just entered the club. The secret is to not do the usual things, like first having a look, a useless look by the way. Chances are you don't know anyone, so let's face reality, cause it's always the best option. The first thing I want you to do every single time when you go to a bar or club, you go straight to the bar and have a drink. It is only normal to have a slight look to your left and to your right, meanwhile the bartender is making the drink for you. The moment you wait for your drink is the perfect moment to have a look, as it's something normal and not just something you do out of no reason or reasons of shyness. First of all, you want to create value. That being said, you have to find a table. Tables usually are owned by guys that don't know how to approach, and they just hope that by having a table with some drinks on it somehow it will magically solve everything. But that's great, that's what you need actually, a free table and some not so intelligent guys. So you approach the guy, you tell him he has a nice elegant jacket and everything, try to socialize for a bit, and then ask him if he minds you leaving your jacket at the table because you are expecting some girls to meet you up. So what did you do right here? You basically raised their hopes up. They have the table and the drinks, you have what they want, the girls. So it's a fair exchange. Now obviously you don't have the girls, you are just pretending you have them. Leave your jacket, go into the crowd and find some groups of girls that are actually having fun. Approach them without any doubts and let them know you need help from them. Tell them you need some help with the drinks you have on the table as you came with some friends and you are worried that they are gonna drink everything and it's gonna get messy, so the big idea is that you have a table for them and as well, free drinks. It's the only thing a girl is looking when she goes out, to drink and not spend anything. So you have the guy with the table and now you have the girls. Bring them to table, introduce everyone, serve them the drinks like you are some kind of waiter. Don't worry, the girls will offer you the most of the value because you are the man with everything in their eyes. That is your table, that is your bottle of Jack Daniels, those are your friends. So you are the party starter. Guys from the table will also give you value for bringing the girls. The only ingredient they were missing for the evening, so for everyone it's a win-win situation. Be prepared to end up at someone's place, either the guys, either the girls, and what can I say? Don't forget to protect yourself. Let's say you don't have the guts yet to go ahead and try this method. No worries, I have other solutions as well. First of all, keep in mind that if you spend too much time looking around, you end up looking like a loser, like a lonely guy, and you don't want that. I would suggest as soon as you make eye contact with someone you like, slightly raise your glass, crack a smile, see if she feels the same, and once you have confirmation, go to her without thinking about it a second more. Don't forget that in clubs where the music is loud, the only way you can talk to her and find more about her is by inviting her outside, otherwise, inside you won't hear each other. Also, don't forget she wants to dance and have fun. She might not really be open to the idea of getting to know each other better at the moment, so try and understand what she wants, dancing or talking. If you want to approach two girls on the bar, you should do a basic approach. Just wanted to say you look nice. Hi, my name is Andrew. Simple and mysterious. Introduce yourself to both of them, compliment them both, and the one that interests you try to make some physical contact once in a while, like touching her, leaning her towards you, more eye contact, seductive remarks. At the same time, focus very much on her friend, as she will be the one talking about you after you leave. Based on what she has to say about you, the girl you are actually interested in will then jump to a conclusion. Is she gonna date you or not? So never treat one less better than the other, especially because the girl you want to go home with that night won't probably go with you, just because that would mean to ditch her best friend over there, and that's just not gonna work. By the way guys, a very gay thing men do. They drink with a straw. What is that? Do you really like sucking? Also keep in mind that whiskey, bourbon, something strong is what men usually drink. So don't have vodka with something, it's a girl's drink. Don't have colored stuff, don't drink Cosmopolitan as well, or at least drink them in a normal glass, without a straw or you sitting with a leg on top of the other. Be a man. Man. That's pretty much everything there is to picking up girls in clubs or bars. Don't forget the essentials. Don't spend too much time looking around. Don't ask weird or useless questions. Figure out her mood. She wants to grab a drink? To have a dance? To talk? And according to that, you know what you have to do. Also, don't offer to buy drinks, but let her know you want to get yourself a new drink. Let her come with you, show her you respect yourself and you don't pay for a woman. Let her understand you are not like the others. You are not easy to play and you are not stupid as well. Am I missing something? Yes. Don't forget to protect yourself once again. 9. How to dress properly. Would you be in shock if I told you not many men have the smallest idea about what being stylish means? They really don't. That being said, you have great chances to become a better version and therefore impress everyone, stand out from the crowds once again. Let's talk about some basic rules despite what you have seen in those sick movies or useless fashion magazines. 1. Pink is for girls. A man in my opinion should never wear something pink. 2. Waxing is for girls. I don't care if you are a football player, if you have a photo shoot or anything else. Waxing is for girls. 3. Tight pants like stretched jeans are once again for girls. It's some sort of updated version of leggings. Oh, but by the way, if you go to the gym now, you can find men wearing leggings as well. And you have the guts to wonder what has happened with this world? First of all, sport clothing go with sports and that's it. Elegant goes with elegant. Pretty simple, right? Well, not really. If you have a look on Google, you can find lots of models wearing elegant suit jackets with sneakers. What is that? It's either a suit, either a sportswear. So never wear sneakers with your jacket. Never ever. Just decide when you go out. Am I gonna dress elegant? Then elegant it is. Am I gonna dress sports? Then sports it is, not the way in the middle. Leather jackets offer you the bad boy look. In my opinion, every man should own one, if not two, one black and one brown. Leather jackets go best with some boots, not sneakers once again. It's leather and goes well with leather shoes, boots, etc. Sunglasses once again for me always proven to be something I can't go wrong with. They should never miss from your shelf. Ties, shirt buttons, and let me offer you a secret condiment as well, one I don't see men using it. Pockets. Sort your pocket with your shirt color. It shows that you really are careful with your image and you appreciate details as well. The belt color always goes with the shoes color, if possible the exact same color, and you can't go wrong. So once again I'm offering you basic information, but if you apply this in your life you will definitely find you are way more successful just by following some basic dressing rules. Don't be a man like every other. Open the closet and throw everything you have on you. Don't go out and avoid getting all dressed up in certain days because you're not in the mood in that specific day. You don't know what opportunity might show up. The best color for jeans is actually a non-color. I recommend buying the black ones, as black goes well with pretty much anything. It's impossible to not find something that goes well with them. If you don't have enough experience in sorting out clothing items, start from black and white and develop furthermore. I cannot stress enough about accessories. They really make the difference. Having a bracelet, an elegant ring, what to say about an elegant watch? What's more masculine than having an elegant pen, a napkin for a possible crying woman, an elegant file holder, a portfolio, a small leather bag in which you keep things like your hair product, a perfume, and other important accessories good for every possible situation that might show up. It's just being organized, man, and really looking into those details as much as possible. 10. The perfect Facebook profile. We've covered up a lot in a few pages, to be honest. You know why you should approach girls, how to do it, how to behave in certain situations, and I've pretty much left you without any excuses. Let's face it though, this book wouldn't be complete if we wouldn't talk about Facebook as well. As many moved on the internet nowadays, you can definitely approach on Facebook as well. In order to be successful on Facebook, you need to have a great profile, an almost perfect profile I might add. 1. Professional photo shoot is what you need. Trust me, get a photographer, make a plan about the photo shoot you want to do, plan everything from the attitude you want in photos till the places you do want to take your photos, and don't think twice about it. Organize the clothes, your ideas, and get to work. For a profile to work, you need great photos. I recommend business type of photos, reading books like Serving Wine, reflecting on things. Artistic type of photos, the photos that express who you are or who you want to become. 2. Don't share too much details. Facebook asks a lot of questions, mostly because it's owned now by the CIA from what I've heard, and it makes sense. Let's put it this way. The more things a girl know about you, the less interesting you are to her. Mystery is what gets her curious and turned on. Not knowing things is what makes her want to discover the unknown. Share as little as possible, but share a bit to not seem a creep with no life. 3. Value recognition. In other words, you can also fake value. The thing is, you are not looking to marry someone tomorrow, you just want to date, experiment, and maybe later you want some more serious stuff. For the sake of experimenting, you don't necessarily need to be entirely honest. You can always fake the idea that you are a man of success. You have financial freedom, you have shitloads of women at your feet, and how can you fake this? It's simple. Go have a walk in the city, ask girls to take selfies with you and upload them. You now have 50,100 photos with 100 different girls in photos. Strangers don't know the truth. To them, you are an important person. A fun one maybe. Girls give you value. If you are only alone in the photos, you don't have much value. If you have social value like lots of girls in the photos, what makes you then? A man girls want to have around. Faking success, it's easy as well. Go to a furniture store, a luxurious one. Take photos and remove the tags in Photoshop. Why would I upload a photo with me at the kitchen table when I can upload one with me sitting on my own office desk? Elegant and clever. 4. Chatting technique. You want to be interesting, or at least different from the others. Pay attention to details, this way you also have a smart opener. Never ask her, "Hi, how are you? What are you doing? What's up?" It's only logical she's on Facebook, chilling, relaxing, listening to music, chatting with friends. Also, you are asking a question but you don't care about the actual answer, she will sense that immediately. If she, for example, has lots of guys commenting her every hour, I'd be messaging her, "Wow, lots of dogs barking at your door. I wonder how you manage the stress." It's enough for me to say pretty much something that has no sense, but it's at least different and gets me at her door in front of the others. I don't comment, I almost never do. If you are a man, you message her, you don't compete with the others. Most of it because there is no one to compete with. 5. Don't like the comments you get. Instead, send your appreciation in private. Liking everything means you have no taste at all, or you are just looking for social value. By liking every single comment, it's like you are constantly on the lookout for attention. And as I said, seems you have no taste. Every girl is good for you. Shouldn't be like that. Be selective, or if you want to play on the safer side, don't even like the comments at all. Also, don't forget that a like could be a form of saying, "Hey dude, cool photo." Doesn't mean anything. But 2 or 3 in a row for me always proved to be a form of them definitely wanting me to approach them, to send at least a message and start a conversation as quick as possible. 6. Don't answer too easily and never too fast. Women have a passion for thinking, boiling in their own juice, wondering, making strange ideas. So who are you to deny them that pleasure? Offer them exactly what they want. Thoughts. That being said, don't respond straight away. Let her be suspicious. Think about the fact that you are talking to other girls as well. Let her compete, and also let her understand you do have a life as well, so you are maybe busy with your own businesses or activities. Answering quickly, telling them what everything or what you expect from women in general, it's just a form of being desperate, and that is definitely a turn-off for them. Keep in mind that on Facebook you should have 100% more chances in getting laid, or at least a date. On Facebook it's much easier as you do not confront with eye contact, so there's no form of intimidating, you are just looking at a screen. It's no way of understanding body language, as she doesn't see you. So you don't have any excuses for failing. You should really be successful in time, and you should also feel a lot more confident when approaching on Facebook than you would normally feel when approaching on field. But I do recommend to approach less on Facebook and give your best try on field. And also to practice every single day more and more. That's if you really are serious about what you are doing. Guys, I just want to thank you very much for getting this book. Although book might be too much of a big word, this is more of a basic guide for you to start with, an original one that actually helps you in a funny but realistic way, a guide that offers you the truth as it is. I want you to stay tuned because I will definitely release more books during the month. I'm planning a guide on understanding breakups, a guide on how to get your ex back, and many other useful informations. I also own a YouTube channel. If you want to check me out and maintain a closer relationship, I post videos often over there talking about dating experiences and advices for guys that want to become better and better at game each day. Search for Pickup Master on YouTube. You will see me dressed smart and sitting on a bench. That is my channel. It's like the 6th 7th result. Definitely check me out and leave me your opinions on that. Also, I would very much appreciate it if you can leave me a review on the book and let me know what you would love to know more about dating and relationships. The situation is pretty much simple. I have lots of useful information, and I am very passionate about blogging, writing books, and being on the online surface, connecting with different people and personalities. Now, with that in mind, I really appreciate some feedback and also some suggestions for future projects. I mean, if you need information in some particular domain and I have it, why not exchange it? Thank you very much once again for purchasing this guide, and I really hope it helped you a lot. I really hope you take this guide everywhere with you. You read it and read it again until you understood the scheme. I also hope you do practice what you have read in order to see some actual results, and I do hope you will apply everything to your daily life and come later on and let me know how everything worked out for you.